Hello again, it's Garson, and today we're going to talk about a topic I really care about. I love Warlock, it's my favorite class. I love marshals, I love spellcasters, I love hybrids, I love cool builds, I love versatility, I love a whole bunch of stuff, right? And we have it all right here. This is probably why this is my favorite thing in the game. So we're going to talk about it, but I'm babbling enough. Why are we here in the Mage Tower? Well, this guy over here, this nerd, thinks, oh, I've spent many years and read many books and I use my vast intelligence to use magical, and look at me now, I have a whole Mage Tower. That's great. Well, it's time to take over, because a real man gets in a deal with the devil, or maybe kills that devil and wears his skin, or maybe you just serve your undead Lich Queen, whatever the case may be. I'm going to show you the power of Warlock. Melee Pact of the Blade Warlocks. Ready? Let's go ahead and teach this nerd a thing or two. We're going to amp ourselves up. Alright, with our bow, we're going to cast haste, and then we're going to add a little accuracy to our weapon attacks, and we are going to use an underrated weapon called the Harmonic Dueler, and we're about to show this nerd what's up. Ready? And we'll come in for a nice little offhand attack with Rhapsody, get things started. Here we go. Alright, so check it out, nerd. How about we go for a hit on one of your buddies here. Bonk. Alright. Now, with our offhand, we can actually hold monster. Ready? Let's take out... how about fire and elemental? Bing! And I just got arcane synergy out of that, so what I'll be able to do is whack somebody next turn. Oh man. Ran out of movement. Okay. Alright, speaking of hold monster. Okay, so what I'll do is get a kill on you. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Got Bloodlust. And now I got Arcane Synergy, Harmonic Dueler. I'm going to open this up. Check this out. Since he's hold monster. Oh, this is going to hurt. Ready? Boom! And then another kaboom! Alright, so check this out. We're getting +6 from the Harmonized Dueler. We get +6 from Arcane Synergy. We get +6 from our Charisma modifier. Our damage uses that. And we get +6 from our Charisma again for Necrotic Life Drinker, level 12 Warlock. Pretty crazy. Beating the crap out of that Fire Elemental. And we killed somebody with Eldritch Blast. Oh, Entropic Ward. Okay, we lost our monster, not a big deal. Alright, what about Gale? Gale here, he's pretty much just hit him really hard with our main weapon here. But he's also got this cool little Raise of Fire cantrip. So maybe we'll blast somebody with that. Alright, how about you? Da-da-da-da. Nice. Okay. And now, since we use a cantrip, we also get Arcane Synergy. So, how about we finish this guy off over here. Okay. Warp in with our cool boots. Bam. Alright. And now we're gonna hit him. Alright, pretend patch 8 got you the flame blade. Oh, no. Well, not yet. We'll show that later. We'll just hit him really hard. Alright, we don't care about that. I resist fire anyway. Go ahead. 1 damage. What was that? Fight fire with fire, buddy. Alright, kick his butt. Now we'll come on down here. Okay. Okie dokie. Now we've got a fire elemental. So we can warp in. Get some more damage on this guy. There we go. A little damage from our elemental. Oh yeah. So stone skin, no problem by me. Ah, so we gotta take him out for the stone skin. That's cool. Already had to do that anyway. Oh no, our haste. Oh no, Cone of Cold. So we can counterspell that. Pretty cool use of our Warlock spell slots. Nice. We'll get to you, don't worry, nerd. Alright, so, like I was saying, cool thing about Lae'zel's build here is, let's see, who should we hit? So, we can whack one to use, like this. Nice psychic damage, doubled up. On top of that, you now have mental fatigue, so I can use my bonus action and hit you with Vicious Mockery. Does double damage, so not bad for a bonus action. Cantrip, 18 damage. And now, I have Arcane Synergy. Alright. Mental Fatigue. It's about to pop. 7. Okay. Well, since he has so much mental fatigue, it'd be really easy to lock him down with that. But instead, I need to get my Arcane Synergy going again. Can I finish him off? Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. He's dead. Now I get another attack. How about we hit the earth elemental over here? Come on over. Alright, so smack him. Oh, bam. Look at that damage. Oh yeah, we like that. We like that damage. And we even have little Rhapsody right here. Watch him. He can do a little damage. Boom! Got him. Alright. Let's run ourselves over there. Stand next to these two. Oh, nice job. Tell you what, Hellish Rebuke. Boom! Nice little off, little reaction attack. Alright. So, keep hitting them with some fire. Bonk. Got him. Alright. Good stuff. What you doing, Larokin? I'm gonna fly over here. Oh. Well, Lightning Bolt. So, Lightning Bolt is level 3 spell. We're gonna counter that. Actually, we're gonna use Psionic Backlash. It's gonna give him mental fatigue, a little bonus psychic damage doubled up. That's pretty cool. And we'll use another counter spell, because Gale's not exactly a spellcaster. Just a anti-mage. Take that, nerd. Oh yeah. So, you're looking like you got some mental fatigue, huh? That's gonna lower your wisdom saving throws by 2. So what are we down to? 4? I think we can go ahead. We'll get another hit in on you. Alright, we missed. But I can still get this. Ready? Oh, damn it! Oh. Well. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, anyway. So we'll go ahead, keep blasting. Nice. Use our offhand attack. Oh. Okay. Tell you what. Use your bonus action for now. Got a heal going off. Okay. Save it for next turn. We'll save it for next turn. It's okay. Okay. And now, we'll slam a jamma. So, tell Larian I want blade cantrips. Ready? Oh yeah. 38, 13, 2. Oh, like a mini smite. I love it. You love to see it. Here we go. Alright. Everybody get ready. This is gonna hurt, buddy. You better hit us with everything you got. No. Let's see. How many spell slots we get on you? Still got 2. See? Just counter that. Actually, no. I keep playing. I like using this. We'll counterspell that. Boom. Perfect. You ain't using that crap. Here goes your turn. Oh. Who are these people? We're the Warlocks, baby. Here we come. Alright. So if we hit them, do massive damage, make things even worse, we can use hold person with our bonus action. Good enough for me. Since he had mental fatigue, I had a higher chance of hitting him. And then I can slam a jamma. He done. Ooh. Devilish. Alright. Get these guys over. Oh, hey, Roland. What's up? You can take over. We were just joking around. We don't really need the place. But, yeah. Enjoy starting your own little mage tower business. Alright, let's roll it back. So, hopefully you enjoyed that little demo. I had some fun with it. I'm gonna roll this back over here. And what I'll do is, as always, bust out our lovely dovely notes. So what are we talking about? Melee Warlocks with no multi-class, huh? The Demon Within, as always. Appreciate you guys watching. If you want to support the channel, we'll talk about it later. I think you're just here more interested in this stuff. Hopefully the fun little demo was cool for you. We're actually going to show off these builds in detail, so if you actually want to skip ahead, just, you know, indulge me for now. I wouldn't mind if you just skip ahead for the builds, but I'll go over them later, alright? This is just going to be probably me babbling about something I really like in the game. We'll talk about martial classes as a contrast to what we're doing here, and why I like Melee Warlock, especially pure Melee Warlock. How good is it? And then I'll go over those builds in a little more detail, okay? So, let's actually get right into it. We're back to the old place, Basilisk. We're going to save it right here. Alright. I also think Gale didn't have his pack weapon back then, so let me put this back on. Ding ding! Okay. Now we'll save it. Alright, so let's actually get into it. What I have here is also Shadowheart. Shadowheart's going to be our little contrast to a martial class, alright? So let's actually look at it real quick. This is a pretty standard, pretty typical, very popular. I don't know that everybody goes pure paladin, but this isn't the craziest set either. But just as a contrast, what I'm talking about here is martials are classes that approach their problems with wielding weapons. They have usually some armor skills or a way to gain good armor class, you know, because they're going to get in close or, you know, get into fights and whatnot. They usually have some kind of skill related to those weapon attacks and keeping themselves alive. And they usually get extra attack, for instance, right? And it's you could think of it depending on what you're debating or arguing or just discussing, right? Little asterisk here, but they do it without magic. So one way to look at it is their martial classes, and then their spellcaster classes. Then you have the muddied lines where you have everything in between, right? So let's talk more about the barbarian, fighter, paladin, monk, ranger, right? I use paladin because paladin is going to be a little similar to contrast. We have spell slots. We're what's called a half caster. We're a mix between martial character, relying on a weapon, getting the extra attack, standard stuff, right? We have good armor options. We can use proficiency in almost any weapon, and we can still cast stuff and have our unique class features, okay? So you can think of all these other stuff. They all do it a little differently, especially Rogue, I feel, is underutilized, underappreciated. Rogue is going for one quick strike with sneak attack and trying to keep itself alive with evasion or sneaking away or whatnot, getting the hit in, maybe assassinating style. The rest kind of fight more open and have their extra attack, with Fighter getting three attacks per action or per turn, right? And those rules change a little bit with honor mode rules. We'll talk about that in a moment. So that's what we have here, right? We have our Paladin. We can cast spells up to level 3, right? If you mix two classes together, say a fighter and a wizard, you'd have the same amount of spell slots. You'd have some different versatility, right? And that's all pretty cool. I've done stuff like that. I love it. Paladin's just an example where you can just level something straight up and just take the benefits, like having radiant damage on your weapon. Another interesting contrast to what I'm going to show you with a level 12 Warlock who gets necrotic damage on every hit, almost like a mini smite in the dark arts rather than the radiant stuff, right? So I find Shadowheart, keep this in mind, nothing too crazy here, just medium armor, decent strength, but has to use balance between strength, maybe dex, maybe con, maybe charisma, which is another thing we're going to see balanced out, showing you the melee Warlock. There's really just a focus on one stat. So I want you to keep all this in mind. If we have to, we'll bounce back to her. But let's look at Asterion, because this is a build I've used in honor mode. I freaking love playing a melee Warlock. Here's one of the best reasons, or best examples. And it all revolves around the Pact of the Blade, right? Because Pact of the Blade lets us play like a martial class. We get the extra attack, okay? So what I'm talking about here is when you pick your Pact as a Warlock, it doesn't matter what subclass it is, you're going to get Pact, and your choice is Pact of the Blade will allow you to play sort of like a martial. You can summon a weapon or just bind a weapon, which is usually the better option there, but it's going to make your attacks magical. And now instead of strength and dexterity, they're going to operate, your attacks are going to operate off of charisma. So this bonus here is what you actually care about now. And this is great because that's also how your spell attack, like Eldritch Blast, it's where your accuracy and damage comes from for that, as well as your spell save DC, your accuracy to land spells, okay? So everything we do is going to work off of one stat, in contrast to Shadowheart, who kind of needs the multi-class to do that, or in a pure class needs to balance their charisma stat for spells, and their strength or dex for their martial. See this? This is operating off of strength, okay? And for damage, it's also getting a bonus from strength, okay? Now if we contrast that with our Pact weapon user, right, he's going to actually get his benefits from charisma for accuracy, and his damage also charisma. And then of course, agonizing blast and invocation that Warlocks get, that can add the damage to Eldritch Blast, which is already working off of the accuracy from charisma, right? So again, really cool perk. Doesn't necessarily mean it's exclusive to level 12 Warlock, but it does mean that if you're going to go pure Warlock, you can still be a powerful caster, powerful martial user, control, a whole bunch of stuff, right? That's what we're here to talk about, and it all revolves around Pact of the Blade. So at level 5, it's going to be upgraded just around the same time when all these other martials are getting their upgrades, right? All these packs get improved, and Blade is going to give you that extra attack on your Pact weapon. Even in honor mode, even if you're not, as long as you have Pact weapon equipped and you're using it, when you make a hit with your Pact weapon, you can still make a bonus hit with your ranged attack, but we're going to see that this is pretty much irrelevant. We're going to take that away, okay? So let's just pretend it's only just the Pact weapon. It's actually how it's supposed to work. But again, it works off your charisma modifier. A cool feature is it can't be dropped, so a very dangerous control spell, I have it on Lae'zel. It's called Fear. So you can be feared, and this will make you drop your weapon. or someone can use command drop or disarm, and that could be like a real bummer because then you have to waste an action in combat. So you do get that slight benefit of you're never going to drop your weapon. And then honor mode rules are different, so people will tell me, well, I can multi-class with a paladin or a fighter and still use my pact weapon, and I will get triple attack every turn, right? Well, honor mode changes things with the rule set, so let's keep this in mind. This is why I value this in honor mode, because this really kind of got a buff since other things got nerfed. What I mean by this is, say you had paladin mixed with like 5 levels of paladin, you would get your extra attack. And if you mixed it with Pact of the Blade on a Warlock, their level 5 would double down. So this extra attack and the regular one on your Paladin or Fighter, you would have 3 attacks, right? And even better than that, when you're on Tactician or lower, your action points, right? No matter how many you have from Bloodlust, you know, killing someone, or haste or whatever, you can keep using your triple attack. So it's monstrously powerful. However, in honor mode difficulty, right, even though this is a custom game, right, this is the same rule set changes to make the game more challenging, but I also think it's more balanced and more interesting. It makes that combo, one, not work. You can't use Pact of the Weapon with your multi-class with Paladin or Fighter or anything, so it's just going to be 2 attacks. So to me, that says, okay, so a pure melee Warlock kind of got a buff because that got nerfed. And another thing is, okay, you could have haste, for instance. Let's use a speed potion. Now I have 2 bonus action, or 2 regular actions, right? If I go to attack somebody, well, okay, it's a little wonky when you start up combat, but when you attack somebody, you can use your action. This is your Pact of the Blade extra attack, right? You can get another act. Boop. But when I use this next action in honor mode, it doesn't do that again this turn. I'd have to have a whole nother turn swap over, and then I get my extra attack. So that's what I mean by extra attack is kind of nerfed. Little details like that in honor mode make a big difference. And it also makes me reevaluate how I value certain classes or combos or builds, right? So then now that I killed him, I got another action, but once again, it wouldn't allow me to get another attack in. It would just be 1 action, 1 attack. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We'll reload this. So I kind of focused on enough, but this is a big part of it, right? So multi-classing, keep in mind, I'm not dissing it. I'm a bit of a champion lately for pure classes. Multi-classing lets you do some cool, crazy stuff, even optimal stuff. Even the strongest stuff comes from multi-classing. On honor mode, doesn't matter. Still, some of the most powerful stuff is from multi-classing in general, right? It's fun. I get it. So I do it too. I could show you some really cool builds, but today we're not going to do it. It's not necessary. Again, I value what you can do. There is some real cool perks by going all the way into Warlock. And the funny story here, when I first started the game, I wanted this playstyle, and I thought I had to switch it up. I had to get Fighter 5 or 6 or 7 on Eldritch Knight, and then I had to go Warlock for the Eldritch Blast that I wanted, and the Charisma weapon and triple. And while that worked back in Tactician, that doesn't exactly work in honor mode because of the differences I told you, right? But yeah, it's actually the playstyle I always wanted was right here, pure Warlock, and I'll show you that in a little bit, right? So patch 8 is going to also introduce Hexblade. A certain somebody on his certain channel already showed off Hexblade. We did a preview guessing what it's going to be like. We used a mod to actually play it in the game. So I'm excited about that because it looks really powerful. I've already played it as a mod. Now I'm excited it's going to be an official subclass. Maybe Eldritch Smite. Go check the video out to see what I mean by that. Maybe Blade Cantrips. Please tell Lyrian in patch 8 we want Blade Cantrips. If they're going to keep making new patches, just add it in. It's an official D&D cantrip. Can I please have it? All right. Anyway, why do I love this? Why do I like it? Well, I love Warlock. It's my favorite class for a lot of reasons. The concept of kind of not communing, it could be, I guess, with a higher power, like a god or a devil or something like that. But you get into a pact or a communion, right? And I love the idea of it. If you're an anime nerd like me, you probably think of it like, oh, it's the demon within, and then you have some kind of hell armor, like whatever you want for your RP. I'm not crazy on RP, but I like to build characters so that they match up with the mechanics, and it feels like extra special. It's the secret sauce to making the fun gameplay even better, right? But it's also the mechanics of the class is pretty crazy, right? It makes Warlock, in a nutshell, is very versatile and unique, thanks to the packs. how certain things scale, like Eldritch Blast just scales with your character level, not your class level. But if you invest deeply into Warlock, you actually end up getting 3 level 5 Warlock spell slots, and they reset on short rest. So stuff like that. Eldritch Blast is the best cantrip in the game, no doubt. I'm not even going to argue it. It's also awesome because pew pew pew. When I first saw this, hell yeah. When I found out it grows to 2 and then 3 beams, like, are you kidding me? It's awesome. But we've done a video how to maximize this. This isn't necessarily how to make Eldritch Blast the best. It's just cool that it's going to be a complement to your build, right? Invocations, things like Devil Sight, or getting the ability to disguise self, or even getting proficiency in persuasion with Beguile. You get elemental. If you deeply invest into Warlock, you get things like elemental. You even get a level 6 spell once per long rest. It doesn't use spell slots. There's also Hex as a gameplay early on. It's actually very useful. It's like Hunter's Mark. But yeah, like I said, whether you're going melee, whether you're going multi, whether you're doing pure, I love Warlock. There's a lot of reasons for it, and we'll talk about it in another video. But I enjoy martial classes, obviously, and I enjoy casters. When I first started the game, like I said, I was obsessed with martials. Like, I was trying to make fighter into everything, okay? I love fighter. It's my second favorite class, okay? But I've also played just about every class pretty efficiently through honor mode, done tons of multis, played some pure classes too, and when I first started, I was a little intimidated by the spell slot system and spell save DC. Okay, that's why I like making videos like this, showing you that casters are awesome too, but I was obsessed with martials at first. Now I love playing both. So when you put them together, this is one of my favorite archetypes. I love mechanically and conceptually being able to shoot off magic spells and then attack with my weapon. Being trained in both sounds awesome. It is awesome. And if we could just get blade cantrips, we could actually put them together. But there is good old paladin for smites, so that's just never been my thing though. I'm a paladin player. Anyway, Eldritch Blast is obviously effing cool. And then honor rule changes, we went over pretty good detail. So I like the changes. I think it made something like pure Warlock melee into something more viable, more powerful, you know, up to my standards of playing. Warlock slots are also currently extremely interesting to me. Like I said, by a level 11, this becomes 3, and these auto level, the more you invest into Warlock, the more you're rewarded with spell slots that come back on short rest, and also automatically upscale to their highest power at that current point. Okay, so things like Cloud of Daggers is now doing upcast level 5, level 3, whatever it is, right? Gale's not the right person to show this on. Okay, but yeah, things like Scorching Ray gets more rays per upcast, and this is automatically at the highest level, so it's always going to be 6 rays, and I have 3 of them on standby every short rest. That's crazy. Since you have 2 short rests, that's 3 times 3 Warlock spell slots at level 5. Pretty crazy, okay? I could be disingenuous and say, no other class could do 3 or 9 level 5 spells, bro. But look, it has its pros and cons. The cool thing is, like I said, it's a short rest utility. They're auto-leveled. You can focus on your melee, right, and still have unique spells for your reactions. And I'm a big nerd for action economy, so having something to do with my reaction and spell slots that doesn't necessarily tie up my actions or bonus actions, that's really good gameplay value and very cool playstyle functionality, right? Okay, so things like Counterspell or Hellish Rebuke on your reaction, right? You don't have to blow these with your action and your turn. You can get hit, or there could be a dangerous spell like we saw in the demo, and you can still be active even when it's not your turn. Very powerful utility, especially Counterspell. It doesn't go up to 6, but hell, if it can stop everything at 5 or lower, it's very good. And there's also some weird nuances. I won't get into all of them, but yeah, there's just things about the spell slots, like, it won't be relevant in this video, but if you mixed it with Paladin, we're doing currently a Karlach main character run that has 2 levels of Paladin and then Warlock, so you could use those Warlock spell slots for things like Thunderous or Searing Smite, right? So that's pretty cool. But it has its downsides. It's not like you have all these pre-planned spell slots. Use them whenever you want. They come back on long rest, so I'm not going to say they're the best thing ever. I'm just obsessed with them. Alright, and then Pact Weapon, we've been over it, but it allows for 1 stat focus. Okay, so like I said, as a contrast, Shadowheart here would have to focus on maybe strength and charisma, and then want some these other stats, whereas all of these Warlocks right here really just only care about charisma. I mean, the only thing we really want is dex for initiative and maybe armor class, and even that doesn't have to be the case. So it allows for hybriding really easily, not just in multi-classing, but hybrid play in a single pure class, okay? Thanks to the Pact weapon. And subclasses are not tied to it. So if you think the Fiend, Warlock of the Fiend right here, if you think there's benefits to that, like this cool level 12 or level 11, 10, something like this, where you choose your defenses for a short rest, this is pretty cool. It comes with Fiend, right? You also get some temporary HP on kills, stuff like that. Or if you want to go this subclass, the great old one, you actually get really cool spells like Telekinesis, Everard's Hentai Ride, and Slow and Hold Person and all that stuff. I think you already get hold, whatnot, but I'm talking about more like the Telekinesis, Telekinetic, Dominate, stuff like that. It's only exclusive to that subclass. So it's not tied to that. You can use Pact Weapon with any of these, and of course, Hexblade's coming out, so that's pretty cool too. But is it good? Is it even comparably good? Is it better? I'm not here to debate it. I'm not going to make an argument. This is not a tier list. I don't do tier lists. But I can tell you, I can assure you, through playing it in Honor Mode, my first Honor Mode victory was with a melee Warlock. So it is very good, even just pure. And it gives you, like I said, that single stat focus. And that single stat focus is on probably one of the best stats in the game. I think it's number 2 best stat. But like I said, I won't make a debate. You could easily argue it is the best stat in the game because charisma is amazing. Why? Not only do you get to focus your charisma to do weapon damage, Eldritch Blast accuracy and damage. This is very conservative. You don't use any spell slots. It's very powerful. We can build this all by itself and carry you the game. But we want melee, we want Eldritch Blast, and we want spells, and we want reactions. And all of this is tied into charisma. Do you know what charisma also does? It gives you deception, performance, persuasion, intimidation. You can literally have people kill themselves just by talking to them. That's how powerful charisma is in certain fights, encounters. So charisma is an amazing stat, okay? And this just allows us to hone in on it and forget the rest. So this could be great for your main character right off the bat. So you can take just about any role, and I'm not talking about gearing it towards that role. Just by making one of these types of characters, pure level 12, you can be melee. You can be a ranged attacker. You can be a caster. You can be control. You can be the face of the party and tell people to kill themselves and they'll do it. It's hilarious. Okay? So all of this for just one character role, it's what we call role compression. There is no DPS, tank, healer in this game. It's more like, hey, can you control this so I can beat the crap out of them with spells or melee, or you can just talk your way out of fights. There's other roles like traversing, stealth, initiator, damage, support, stuff like that. You can do a lot of that stuff too, but these are some pretty critical roles that you get all rolled into one character. Pretty crazy. Okay, so anyway, any melee proficiency, Pact of the Weapon, once you bound your weapon, like I said, you could probably create one. This is vastly inferior to just finding a good weapon and binding it to you, and it doesn't matter your race, and it doesn't matter that you're a warlock and don't come with proficiencies. Pact of the Blade, level 3, use this and you will now be proficient with that weapon. Harmonic Dueler is now my best friend. He now taught me how to use him proficiently. All right, so pretty cool with that. The Devil Sight is also extremely broken. Devil Sight is an invocation we can take. It's not the same thing as Dark Vision, but Devil Sight will prevent you from magical and non-magical blindness, so you can never be blinded. That's a cool basic passive, but what breaks it is when you combo it with level 3, you can get level 2, you would get Devil Sight as an invocation choice. It's very good, and the reason it's very good is level 3, this is a class that can get the darkness spell. So anyone who's on your team, or maybe you, can just concentrate on darkness, and now that you're not blinded by your own magical darkness and everybody can't see you, you could just blast them, and when they can't see you and you can see them, you get advantage for free on your attacks. That's insane. Especially with something like Eldritch Blast, you can shoot them, and this is high-powered defense and offense rolled into one. If they can't see you, they can't hit you. If you can see them and get advantage, you can blast them and crit them and all that stuff, okay? So even in melee range, if they come in here, we're going to go ahead and bop this guy with advantage for coming into our little darkness. Super broken. Okay, Devil Sight is fantastic. Then there's all the other cool stuff you can do with it. You can't drop your weapon. We talked about that. Cool slight bonus. Just nice. It's convenient. Nothing you can really build around. But we do get good armor class for a class that currently doesn't have any proficiency in armors. You'd have to use one of your 3 feats. You can just go all cloth armor. None of this is armor. Okay, we're not using a shield if we don't have proficiency. A-okay. Do you know why? Because we can get an invocation called Armor of Shadows, which is just mage armor for free once a day. But that's great. We don't have to spend any resources. The class comes with an answer to our problem. We can get 3 armor class from mage armor. We can get 3 from just starting out with 16 dexterity. We can get 2 more from these underrated bracers you can get in Act 1 for not wearing armor and shield. This is a great option for your melee warlock, and it'll last all game when you need it. Okay. And then you have Become the Bulwark. That's the potent robes. Potent robes, a lot of cloth, good pieces of cloth, like this one, have +1 anyway, and then it lets you use your dexterity modifier fully. And then finally we have Dual Wielder, which when you're using 2 weapons with the feet, you get an extra bonus AC. So I think 20 is fantastic. By Act 3, that's going to be fine as long as you're doing tons of damage and not getting hit all the time. You'll be fine. Mage armor, like I said, comes for free if you take the invocation. Good accuracy, absolutely. Everything's working off that 1 stat. Great damage, oh yeah, especially if you know how to build it with things like Mellow Harmony, Arcane Synergy, knowing how to tie it into your, like work your actions and Bloodlust and stuff like that. Oh yeah. And extra attack. Extra attack comes from the Pact Blade we talked about, level 5, right? So you're doing tons of damage and you're getting 2 attacks per turn. And then Arcane Synergy, stacking with other features. But the thing that's good about Arcane Synergy and Warlocks is, if you use this ring right here, you can use a cantrip that deals damage. You'll get Arcane Synergy. And for 2 turns, it's going to add your modifier, your spell modifier, Charisma, onto your weapon damage. Both of your weapons, by the way, if you're dual wielding like I am. So we get not only 6 damage because of Pact Weapon using our Charisma, but now we get another 6 damage. So it's up to 12 damage for only focusing on 1 stat. Then when you stack things like Life Drinker, okay, which is a level 12 invocation going all the way to level 12, you get a little charisma, as you can see right there, your necrotic damage. That's 6 charisma damage, so that +6 is now necrotic. So now we're getting 18 damage from our charisma modifier, right? And we can just keep making it crazier. Okay. We also get 3 feats, so that gives a lot of versatility, especially with the subclass choices. So even though we're not multi-classing, don't disrespect what you can do with feats. There's a lot of good options once you know how to fully utilize them. Same thing with item choices, things like bracers of utility, but also things like gloves of dexterity. There's the standard like reverb set stuff, but things like Spell Might can give your Eldritch Blast even more kick. But there's tons of ways to build a cool melee warlock like this. So there's tons of variety. I've made a few examples, which means we need to get into it, and you'll be seeing me run a pure level 12 Hexblade when the patch 8 comes out later this month. Okay, so it's time for examples, time to shut up. Hopefully you skip to this point in the video. I'll go over some cool builds that you've been seeing here. Obviously we have 3, and Shadowheart is just our little paladin to contrast. I'm going to start with Asterion. This is pretty similar to the build I beat on my first honor mode. This is Hell's Agent, so let's pretend your character was made a deal with the devil. That's, you could think of it like this is your typical will setup, right? I should have used will in this video, my bad. But Asterion clearly has something going on with Raphael. He'd be willing to do anything to get more power and defeat Cazador, and that's how he got his Rhapsody. So let's just roll with that, right? Our feats are Actor. Actor is an insanely good feat for your anything charisma characters, because you can start off with 17. You can get +1 charisma from that 1 feat, and it also gives you expertise in deception and performance. That means this proficiency bonus is doubled up. This is definitely your first talent or feat you want to get, because it's so powerful once you know how good this is. This is doing everything for you, especially on a Pact Warlock, because you're getting all those things focused on 1 stat, and you're even getting expertise in your way to talk out of things, okay? And performance on this build is going to come in, pay us off with this weapon right here. 2 charisma, obviously we want to get our charisma up as high as possible thanks to the birthright. Maybe the mirror, we can take it all the way to 24, but for right now it's just 22. So we have our charisma bonus, and dual wield, as I said, allows us to use Rhapsody. I've said this many times, this thing's broken. It gives us accuracy, it gives us damage on everything we do. It's crazy, okay? And it gives us 1 armor class for dual wielding, okay? So for a setup that doesn't use Great Weapon Master, this is just as strong, if not stronger. Crazy. Also, if you have piercing vulnerability, a certain item can do that. Yeah. We have Bloodlust. Bloodlust right here. If we kill something, if we time our attacks right, we can maybe zap them. with our Eldritch Blast, and then get another attack to go to town with weapon attacks, okay? We're very versatile. We have melee, we have range, we have spells, we have control, we have defenses, we have the face of the party. We can talk our way out of fights or get XP from making people kill themselves. But the thing is here, this is great main character energy, roll compression like I was talking about, okay? So, Rhapsody, by the way, like I said, just has +3 to your weapon damage, your Eldritch Blast damage, your accuracy, your spells, just about everything gets affected by this. On this build, immense value. It's worth taking that feat to get this Rhapsody, and you get a little bonus armor class. Awesome. Okay, so Harmonic Dueler, super underrated. If you do a performance check with the Mellow Harmony, it's a short rest, little action. Maybe do this before a fight. But the thing is, more charisma on attack. And this will affect both your offhand attack and your main hand attack. It's kind of crazy. It's short rest, so just blow it on a fight you really want it or need it or just want to use it. But let's actually check it out. Arcane Synergy is also going to be working with this. If we blast them with Eldritch Blast and get a kill, Bloodlust will give us a turn, and now we'll have 2 turns of Arcane Synergy, so we're just stacking charisma damage on our weapon. It's crazy. It's going to activate more power for our melee, so there's actually a point to be swapping between the cantrip and your melee weapon. It's actually functionally stronger that way. And Bloodlust timed out really well will give you another action, so in that same turn you can hit with your main attack, alright? Maybe Blade Cantrip, so we could skip all that crap I just said and just hit him really hard with one? I don't know. You tell Larian, okay? But yeah, high spell damage, Devil Sight Abuse if we want it. You even get Mummy. I'll show you that in a moment. Ready? Let's go ahead, bring the guys out of here. Let's just see what he can do on his own, right? The funny thing is, since we have darkness, that's exactly what we can do. Save this over here. Gonna hide in our little bubble. No one can see us. We won't get in combat. What else? This is a performance check. Since we have expertise in charisma, we'll almost always get this. It's going to raise our attack. And now we can go to town. We'll start fight with an offhand attack. Bam. Alright. What I'm actually going to do is peel back the notes and see some damage combat over here. Alright, they can stay there safe in their little darkness. Okay. In fact, if I wanted to, I could use darkness too. Alright. Now remember, we got... If we need to, we can use one of our spell slots as a reaction. We can even force that during our turn like that. That was pretty cool, and it's always max level. Even better, right? We have our little elemental buddy who can come over here, right? And slap him. But first, if we time out our Bloodlust on this build, what we can do is actually zap him with the cantrip. 3 should definitely kill him, right? Just in case we missed one of those. But now we got our extra bonus action. We have Harmonized on our weapons and Arcane Synergy. And Life Drinker. That's 4 times all of that stuff, right? And if we can't reach somebody this turn, okay, no biggie. We'll just use our cantrip again. It still does crazy damage, right? Look at that. Wild. Okay, if there was a specific damage type without even using an action, we can actually change it per short rest. Right now, I think I just have it set to piercing resistance. So that's another benefit for going the Fiend. Let's end the turn there. Alright, we can actually finish this guy off with the Elemental. Let's go after him. Let's see if we can get him. Oh, we got all the other guys in there. There we go. We missed, but it's just another body on the field to take hits for us and do a little extra damage, especially if we abuse Hold Person. I've been getting a lot better at summon play. See? There's that volley damage. Even if it hits us, it's half. Look at that. Only 6 damage. And I can use another Hellish Rebuke if I wanted to. I'm not going to. Instead, I want to use one of my spell slots. Ah, nice hit, buddy. Okay, so what I can do now is Hold Person, because I have insane concentration. I have Hold Monster. That was my last slot. Not a big deal. I can even get the finisher with my offhand attack, because remember, Arcane Synergy and Harmonize still affect the offhand hit. Get him killed, right? Oh, that's cool. I have those bonuses and I have a Hold Person. What's this? Double attack. Crit. There we go. Too bad he resists piercing, but still, all the same. If that was the case, then next turn I'll just blast him with Eldritch Blast, because I have piercing, I have fire damage, and I have force damage depending on what I'm using, right? So just the one character has this high versatility, not to mention an elemental who can now just get free hits in. I know this guy also resists fire. We could use a little arsonist oil. But bam, bam, we get free critical hits on our elemental. More value there. Again, this is all just Astarion doing his own thing. In fact, Eldritch Blast, if you didn't know, also can critical hit. And if there's hold person, you just go up in melee range and look at that. Some nice solid damage, offhand attack. Everything's critting for free. Pretty awesome.
I don't fancy no chances.
We'll finish them all off. We'll finish them all off. Ba-bong. You can see our charisma here while we're waiting. 6 charisma and another 6 charisma. That's our potent robes. Agonizing blast. We lost our elemental, but it's okay. It's just another body for them to distract. Get hits in. No big deal. Seriously thinking about doing a solo run with this guy. Just to see a pure caster or anything like that. Alright, so what we want to do is maybe go ahead. We got arcane synergy and everything. Cool. I wonder if I can kill him. Let's see. Let's actually use our offhand. Big hit. That was just our offhand. What about our main hand? Oh my goodness! And if we kill him, we get bloodlust. Cool. That means we can zap the robot. 1, 2, 3. He's done. Keep moving on. Go ahead, hit me. Nice trick. Did I mention we also get temporary hit points every turn, but also every kill? So whichever is going to be higher, doesn't matter. We're constantly getting extra hit points. The robes gives us temporary hit points based on charisma, but the fiend also gives us temporary hit points on our kills, right? Not to mention I think bloodlust does. So we always have temporary HP. It's kind of crazy. So once again, we'll just hit him. If we're out of spell slots, does that mean we're weak? Hell no. Hell no. We're versatile, baby. And in fact, let's go ahead and just zap him again. There we go. All by himself. Not even half health. Check me, baby. Woo! Alright. Pretty crazy, right? So let's pull back up the notes. Got our victory music. So yeah, he's crazy. Pretty awesome. If you short rested right now. Hold on. With short rest, he's got his spell slots all the way back. So now he can do a whole bunch of other stuff. In fact, remember, if you go high enough into Warlock, you can get a free level 6 spell like Mummy. Now you have this guy. And if you needed, you can pull out another elemental, like the water elemental. Nice. So you even have summons, you have elements, you have awesome reaction attacks, right? You have melee. You get to do everything on one character, including being the face of the party and beating the crap out of them. And trust me, this levels pretty smoothly because you get to be a marshal the whole way through. That's already pretty good and reliable. All right, so let's reload it. What about this cool Lae'zel build? This is actually inspired by the avatar of Vlaakith, right? I'll go over that in a second. But the feats here are going to be 2 charisma. You want medium armor, because I'm trying to show you with 3 feats, you could actually be like, oh, I actually want to go with armors. Can I do that? Yes. You can pick up a feat for using armors like heavy or medium armor. And I took Initiate Bard because I think this is pretty cool with the Scoundrel, but it's also very flavorful, and that's kind of my gimmick. I like flavorful builds too, you know? So let's get Lae'zel out instead. I don't know if she's as powerful, that she's going to be soloing things, but we'll see. She also gets Elemental, because she went into Warlock high enough, right? Okay, so we'll give her a little buddy. How about we'll get an Earth Elemental out here. Cool. And then we'll make sure we got our Pact weapon set up. We got Longstrider out of our Initiate Bard. So that's actually cool, because you don't normally get that. So if it's not already on your team, it's ritual, but I don't know. It's still nice, whatever. The other thing is we can get things like Minor Illusion from that, but we got the cantrip, and this is kind of critical to the identity of the build. So this is Bard Initiate gave us our cantrip. We do have medium armor available to us because we took that feat. So I'm just going with stylistic armor. Don't mind me. I'm actually going to take this off Shadowheart so you have a little more. And then we have 2 charisma, so we don't have the highest charisma here, but again, because we only have to focus on one stat, it's actually pretty flexible, easy. 20 is totally fine. Okay, so we even have our Battle Mage Elixir, because this gives us more spell save, which we really want for things like telekinesis and whatnot. Okay, and we do have the Hag Charisma, so it's going to take us from 17 to 18, and then the 2 is going to bring us all the way up to 20, and the Mirror could take us to 22. We do have Brainworms. I'm not going to go over them. The only real one I want to go over is Psionic Backlash and Overload. These are pretty cool. very flavorful. This is kind of similar to a build I just did as a pure caster. This is like the melee version of it, and it's still a pure 12 Warlock. Pretty cool. Okay, so Psionic Backlash gives us, again, another cool reaction attack. It does psychic damage, and this whole build gets double psychic damage because of this Resonance Stone. We've gone over this. It makes everybody vulnerable to psychic and have disadvantage on mental throws. But since we are a great old one Warlock, we actually get resistance to psychic anyway, so that doesn't affect us. And if we take this amulet, that also gets rid of the disadvantage because we counter it with advantage. So we suffer none of the downsides from that, and we get bonus damage of psychic is all doubled up, and any damage we do that's pure psychic can actually hit pretty hard, okay? So this is inspired by that Warlock lady in Act 2, tries to chase you down. She's the avatar of Lakith. She literally shoots like crazy Eldritch Blasts at you, so Lae'zel can roleplay as her on a evil Lae'zel run, okay? But yeah, there's another cool way to do a Psionic Warrior. You could do one with Fighter or a multi-class or something like that, but here's another way to do it. And if you use Overload from your brain worms, if you use a Gith weapon, they usually come with bonus psychic damage. And with Bliss, all of your psychic damage is doubled up in a 30 radius. And because you do psychic damage, you can do Mental Fatigue, which we covered. It's super powerful. My last run, I utilized this. It's a great effect. It's awesome. Basically lowers their mental saving throws. And then because of Steeped in Bliss, they take double psychic damage and their disadvantage. So things like Hold Monster and Hold Person almost always hit. It's crazy. Okay, so Steeped in Bliss, the psychic damage doubled. Disadvantage on mental throws for them, not us. We resist psychic, so we counter that. We also use the amulet to counter the disadvantage, so we're not getting the negative effects all on our own, okay? The Scoundrel Ring is cool because you can hit somebody with your attack, and since you have 2 attacks, what you can do is attack somebody. Then in the Scoundrel Ring is going to turn your enchantment and illusion spells into a bonus action. So you can drop a nuke like Dissonant Whispers that has double damage now. You could use a cantrip like Vicious Mockery. Both of these are going to cause mental fatigue, like crazy amounts of it. You have a different use of your cantrip. You don't have to just use Eldritch Blast, so that's kind of flavorful. But oh yeah, any kind of enchantment or illusion spell can now be a bonus action. So say you hit them, now you hold them, you can hit them again with a free critical hit, okay? That's a very classic combo, but yeah, you attack once, bonus action, you can either Mockery for double damage, Whisper for double damage, hold spell, you can Fear, you can Dominate, you can Thrall, so you are a true spellcaster, Spellblade, because you're hitting and casting spells all in the same action, same turn kind of, right? And you are a Control Marshal, so you have the benefit of being out there in the fight, having double attack, doing good psychic damage. You're adding that mental fatigue on hit, right? And you have things like, I love telekinesis. It's so cool. Okay, but now you have Eye Bite, you have telekinesis, you have you have Everard's Tentacles. But yeah, you have slow, you have confusion, yeah, and you have Life Drinker. So you add that charisma damage again onto it as necrotic. You have your elemental. And sadly, we only get 3 feats as opposed to like a psionic fighter, but we're still doing great, okay? So let's go ahead and save this for a second. See what she can do. Maybe we won't pull everybody over like the robot, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about. All right, so if we get things started, as always, you can just use Eldritch Blast. If you take the ability drain also from your brainworms up here, ability drain on hit is going to cause an effect where they lose their stat based on what you hit him with, right? So since I hit her or hit him with Eldritch Blast, he got ability drain right there. And since I do things like mental fatigue and ability drain, I'm always getting arcane synergy from the helmet, which again adds our modifier. So we're getting +5 on all of our attacks. For a two-hander build that can't use Great Weapon Master, we just don't have the feats, we wanted the armor instead, you're still doing great damage between Life Drinker, the psychic damage, and ability drain, and the arcane synergy, right? So this is just the things I'm trying to highlight for you. Okay, there we go. So let's get in there, fight. I'll hold everybody back for a second. We have Entropic Ward. This comes from a great old one. That's pretty cool too. Don't worry about Acuity. Since we have the elixir, we always have 3. Helps our spell save, right? Ow. Ooh. Alright. So, we have our elemental to soften things up if we can get a hit. Bam. Bam. Alright, no problemo. Another body on the field is nice, especially for a solo. Looks like we're in trouble. Okay, so like I said, what we can do is probably hit you. Alright. This is going to turn a lot of your illusion, your enchantment stuff into a bonus action. So now I can cast this, and remember it's maxed out. So if there was more guys, I could also hit that. That's the power of spell slots, Warlock spell slots. And the power of Scoundrel allows me to use that as a bonus action. And now I can hit this guy with a crit, do monstrous damage. Let's go get Murphy in here. Alright. But since he's hold person, my elemental can now hit him freely, and he's gone. Pretty cool. Okay. Say, come over here, Murphy. I'm gonna hit you with a mockery. Come over here. I get my arcane synergy. Even if I have to use it as an action, if I can't reach them, I always have a card to play. Something I really like. Ow. Alright, jump over here. Or not. Okay. Sit here. I want you to come over here, Murphy. Let's just take a heal real quick. Actually, let's make him come to us, right? How about this? Can we get the telekinesis? Oh, I wanted to use that so bad. Let's go. Ooh. All right, Murphy. We're missing. Okay, so we'll get back up. We'll hit Murphy like this. Okay. And the other thing I was going to show you is, since we ran out of slots, we can't use the big nuke. But you usually want to use Vicious Mockery anyway. So he's got mental fatigue, right? If this goes past 5 stacks and you hit him again with another mental fatigue, it pops for extra damage. Look at that. 12 and 6. That's kind of crazy, right? Okay, so we'll go ahead and we always get an extra attack, so we'll smack him. But yeah, if you needed to, you can also control the area with like things like Black Tentacles, because again, on short rest, you get all these back. You can use things like Hold Person, Slow, Fear, Everett's Tentacles. I'm honestly not showing off her enough because I just don't have the time, but really cool build. I think you should try it. Even as a pure caster, this was fun, but I made this the melee caster. Okay, so anyway, let's go into Gale. Gale's a little simpler to show off because Gale's actually just a riff off of what we were doing with Asterion, but maybe you just want more of that Hell Knight, Hellblade, right? Your demon within, whatever it is, okay? I'm not going to give it too much of a RP backstory, but the thing here is, once again, go for Actor. We know the value of that now. You can get Great Weapon Master by level 8, and then you can get more accuracy and damage with your Charisma later on, or you could reverse these 2 feats, right? And you want to use the Giant Elixir if you're going to use something like the Baldur's Greatsword. I just wanted to use this just because I want to. It seems a little silly to use a Strength Elixir Strength weapon with a Charisma Pact weapon, but we're going to do it. Because at the end of the day, you still get the bonus strength from this weapon. What I'm talking about is right here, your strength modifier is doubled. What this means is even if you go Pact weapon, you're still going to get this +8 added to the weapon damage. We're going to use Great Weapon to add +10. We're going to use Life Drinker to add 5 necrotic. Our Charisma is how our weapon attacks anyway. And then we have fire damage from the Helldust Gloves. And then we have Arcane Synergy. You guys, you get the point. You get the point. But yeah, you would take this with Asterion's build, just with a more two-hander focus. And later on, once you beat Raphael, you can get this really cool Helldust armor. You don't need a feat to wear this. You have, now you look like a real Hell Knight or Warlock fighter, something like that. Okay, so anyway, after this would be more after Raphael in Act 3. And then there's an Elixir of Baldur's, the Elixir for Baldur's Strength bonus we just went over. Great Weapon Master is ton more damage if you can hit. There's still Charisma weapons, so we get Arcane Synergy with that. Fire Acuity, because the gloves give fire damage. Anytime you do fire damage, you get Fire Acuity, which gives you more spell save, so you could actually be hitting very hard with your spell, or very accurately with your spells, right? Armor doesn't require feats. That's the special thing about the Helldusk armor. And it looks cool and thematic, like you're some kind of demonic fighter. Blade cantrips. This would be amazing with blade cantrips because they would interact really well with this amulet. You'll do elemental damage with your fire cantrip, like Flame Blade, and then it would activate your Arcane Synergy, and you just be trucking. It's crazy. So we're hoping for this, but probably easier to strive for on Hexblade once it comes out because you can wear some real armor and focus on that Great Weapon Master. So we'll see that in patch 8. We'll see if that plays out. Are you ready? Let's go ahead, give Gale a moment to beat the crap out of things. He can also pull up a Conjure Elemental. He is also Fiend, because like I said, Styrian. So there's a lot of slashing here. What I'll do is on short rest, I'll change this. Now I take half damage from slashing, and I have my high armor class. And let's just pretend Green Flame Blade is in the game, or you're going to mod the game, so we can do that too. Are you ready? Let's give ourselves a haste from the, where is it? Oh shit, well whatever, we won't haste ourselves. I had that different setup. Anyway, we have initiative right here from the bow, and we have a little bit of dexterity, so that gives us our initiative, so we're not too far behind. Fire acuity, let's just give it a go. How about that? There we go. Alright, come in, we can always just Eldritch Blast. We even have Repelling Blast chosen on this, so we can push people. Very, very similar to like a Battle Master fighter, and yet we're pure Warlock. Pretty cool. Alright, so we can do range, we can do melee. We have a lot of cool stuff we can do. We can even fly. Ooh, we can fly. All thanks to our armor. Ooh, I'm flying, I'm flying. And of course, like I said, I think this build would favor more using your spell slots as a bonus reaction, okay? So what we'll do is use our Hellish Rebuke, finish him off, bam. We did some fire damage, so that's more acuity. Alright. Ooh, got me. I'm gonna hold off on that. Ooh, got me. So there's something I want to do. Ready? Okay, so we can use our Topple the Big Folk, and we can really slam this guy, or we can use Green Flame Blade. Look at this. Ah, we missed it. No, we missed it. All right, hold on. Damn it, Gale. I want to use this. This is almost like a smite. That's what's amazing about this. So if you build for this, because all the gear is in the game, we can just hope that we'll actually get these with a patch one day. Or a mod. That's insane. Look at that. We just did 60 damage with just our basic attack. But the way this one was implemented is you don't get to use your next extra attack. So it's a trade-off, right? Using a cantrip and an attack. Pretty good. Depending on the mod or implementation, can be even stronger because you would have extra attack next up. But yeah, let's go ahead. See if we can hit him with a rebuke or something. Go ahead, hit me, buddy. Oh, you can't even hit me. Oh, looks like somebody's toast. Oh, hey. But as I said, we can also pull out his own elemental. So let's get another fire elemental out. Check that out. We've run out of slots. We just go ahead, short rest, and let me show you the power of darkness. There we go. Ready? We can go ahead, start. You know what? I want to use this cool cantrip, but I want to use it on you. Just murder one of these guys. Okay. No problem. Okay. Not going to use that right now. Instead, what I'm going to do, get myself a speed potion, and we're going to concentrate on darkness. And now we can sit here and cause all sorts of hell. Okay. So he can like pop out of here. Oh, he's maimed right now. Oh, poor guy. Go for it. Good job, Elemental. So they are blind. It's going to be even harder to hit me. They already had disadvantage because of my cloak, but whatever. There we go. And I do have magical attacks thanks to the Pact weapon, but also arcane synergy. So again, I have two actions. What I could do, blast the robot. Maybe not push him out of here, but it doesn't matter to me, right? And then I can come up to this guy. I have advantage because it's darkness, and this is gonna hurt. He's gone. Oh, look at that. I have Great Weapon Master, so that obviously means I get to use my bonus action as another free attack. Alright. There we go. And usually the AI like sits around the perimeter of the darkness, unless they're gonna do one of those funky moves here. Okay. Just go ahead, slap you. It's just another body, doesn't matter. Oh no. Oh no, Hellish Rebuke, get wrecked. Woo! So you always have a card to play with something I really like. There we go. right? So even with a focus more on using my weapon attacks or even Eldritch Blast, I'm still getting good use out of these Warlock spell slots. He has resistance to slashing, but just non-magical. So that means we can still hit him with this. There we go, and we do some pretty juicy damage. In fact, topple the big folk. Here we go. Nice. And we got another action. There we go. And if we would have crit or killed somebody, we'd get another attack for a bonus action. Alright, Gale. What a beast. Oh, can't hit me. I'm in the dark. Oh! Oh no. I'm not hasting. Oh no. Oh, hellish rebuke. Are you donezo. And we can just jump over here, or in fact, I'm gonna warp in like this. All cool like, all anime like, and then we can go once again. Blade cantrip! Boom! There you go. That's your Hellion, Hell Knight, whatever you want to call him. Get over there, game. So, there we go. That's gonna do it. I know this video went on long, but like I said, this was more for me and passion. It's kind of crazy. I love these, and hopefully you found some really cool builds out of it. You might be asking, how do you play or level these up? And sometimes I do videos for that stuff. It's more on the fundamentals. If you want to see this specific stuff get built or get ideas for it, come watch the streams. More fun. We have more fun when people join the streams, have chat, ask questions. I don't mind. Currently, we're doing the hot chick, so you actually have a little bit of this Warlock spell slot play on her smites. Come check that out. In patch 8, I will be doing a pure level 12 melee Warlock with the new Hexblade, so check that out too. Probably doing a video on all the subclasses again. But yeah, I already did a video on that, so check that preview out. But obviously I play on honor mode, so if you like stuff or had questions or you're struggling with it, this is why I do these videos, this is why I do the streams. So I like answering stuff in comments or definitely this live chat. So hopefully we see you there, because who's our sponsor? You are. Thank you so much for watching, even if it was like 10 minutes in the beginning. I don't mind. It's fine. It's great. I appreciate you guys watching. We do have member support now. Please become a member if you want to support the channel for whatever reason. That means so much to me. But I just appreciate if you had some fun, I've helped you out, or maybe I helped put you to sleep. No problem by me. I'll check you guys out in the next one. Until then, have a blessed one, all right? Take it easy.